Alright, so I'm probably gonna either catch flack for this or possibly start up some sort of flame war or anything. I hope not. Considering my notoriety, I don't think it's likely to happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, so it's been about a good 2 weeks since the release of the next gen consoles. And to be perfectly honest, it's not been good. For me, it's almost heartbreaking to see on, even if the new year comes around where there should have plenty of consoles available, I'm just very skeptical about being able to get a PlayStation 5 at all at this moment. And I'm contemplating, is it even worth to get it anymore? Even when it's fully available, is it even worth getting it? Because honestly, my opinion about this whole detrimental of the release is that first of all, the manufacturers didn't handle the production of it very well. It just seemed rushed. Sure, the concept and the performance seemed great. The game seemed like worth playing. But we are just hearing issues after issues that are something that is most common. We're hearing reports of the console itself crashing all the time and disconnecting. We're hearing that people are not even able to have more than 10 installed PS5 games installed on there, so it's unclear at that point. And supposedly, Sony is saying they're going to release an update where you can add more storage to it, which is ideal. So, and then of course there comes the idea of accessibility. Basically saying, are you even able to get one? At this point, it's a rare commodity at this point. You would have to be the luckiest son of a gun to even get your hands on a Xbox Series X or even a PS5. And it's really disappointing. Personally, I agree with a lot of people saying that Sony should have waited until 2021 to release the game or release the console. Because at least that way they'll probably have a lot more time to manufacture some more and be able to put it out. But of course, near the time that they were announcing it, it was close to the Christmas holidays. So of course that's the biggest sale. That's the biggest holiday for sales and everything. So they wanted to push it out as much as possible. And to be perfectly honest, too, the retailers should have had a much better handle on the sales of this. Okay? I know that they need the money in order to stay open for their other stuff, too. But kind of honestly, if you're willing to screw over your customers for sales, then it's not even worth going to the store, to that particular retailer anymore. All right, because obviously if there are times where they're willing to compromise you over the need of money. And why I say that is because you probably heard that is that even when retailers like Best Buy, Walmart, and Target end up getting restocked with consoles, they're gone in an instant. And that's because of bots. And you go through the wet, and ideally, considering what's been happening for a while, is that people want to do stuff online. They want it delivered. They don't want to actually go to the store. All right? So you can go to the store, but most people say it's not recommended because of COVID. So you're kind of stuck. And what happens is that, you got scalpers who have set up automatic bots that will buy these consoles in bulk, making them basically unavailable. And that's what I'm saying, that if the retailers aren't willing to put something in place to prevent bulk buys from scalpers, basically screwing over their customers, especially ones who either, like for Target, they have a red card, or Amazon who are Prime members, or GameStop that are Pro members, Walmart that are, I can't remember what Walmart's exclusive customer things are, but you would think they would get the first pick since they're the ones who are paying the subscription for a service that they don't really need, but it's beneficial for them, and not inputting any sort of restrictions on their sites to prevent scalpers from making money. Like, sure, you can easily argue that scalpers only exist as long as there are people out there to pay for them. And usually scalpers sell them for twice as much as retail value. And I would only think the people who are more than willing to pay the scalpers are the people who have the money. Which are people who make more than who make more than a month than I make in a year. So that's nothing. So it basically, this whole idea brings me to my point of this video. At this point, or in the point of 2021, is it even worth getting a PS5 anymore? Whether it's available. Because I have accepted the fact that I am more than likely not going to be able to get a console until sometime in 2021. But the skepticism in me is basically saying, like, how far in 2021 will it be? Okay? Because if I have to wait, because even if it's nearing the first half of 2021 and everyone's reporting that they're still not able to buy a console in stores because of bots and everything and scalpers, then we may come to a year or two where Sony and Microsoft are not going to be able to get any good feedback because not a lot of people have consoles to report on. So I guess at this point it's more about loyalty. Like, how long do I wait until I say, even if it's available, I'm not going to buy it. I refuse to give you money because you never seem to want my money when it counted. So why should I give it to you now? And I have this belief for every sort of thing too. Like, I have the belief for Cyberpunk. Supposedly it comes out on December 10th, which is in about a week, in about a couple of weeks. And I made it very clear to myself and to others that if Cyberpunk ends up getting delayed for a third or fourth time, I'm canceling my pre-order. And I'm not going to buy it. The only way I'm going to buy it is if it's on sale for less than $30. And I may buy it used. But yeah. Is it even worth it anymore? Is it even worth getting it? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who want to tell me, you just got to be patient and all that. Or like, oh, you can wait for when Sony releases another version of the PS5. And let's face it, they'll probably release another version of the PS5 within near the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022, because that's what Sony does. And usually the newer versions of the consoles are basically a little bit more superior. Like, hell, when I got the PS3 that I got was called, I didn't know at the time, but it was called the PS3 Slim. And I didn't know about anything about the newer consoles at that point. All I know is that, that was the one at the time that had the biggest hard drive space. So I wanted that. And I didn't know about it, but the earlier versions of the PS3, which is called the PS3 Fat, was backwards compatible. And then, of course, we got the PS3 Super Slim. And I guess, like, each one was able to hold a bigger amount of space. And I guess the Super Slim was a bit more smaller and compact, so you could be able to store it. And the PS4, all right, you had the PS4, then you had the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro. The PS4 Pro was able to, the Slim was only like slightly smaller, and so you could be able to store it anywhere. And then, of course, the PS4 Pro was slightly bigger, but it was able to handle 4K. So, and of course, we're hearing from PS5 owners that are saying like, "Oh, well, we're filling up on our storage, or our game, or our consoles are crashing all the time." And I don't know about you, but I guess at this point it's like, I don't want to have to be at the end of life for the PS4, and then because if I'm forced to go and get a PS5 because no one's going to be making PS4 games anymore for newer games, and I can't get a PS5 because there are none available, that's going to be sad. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who are going to feel the exact same way. All right? It's just never going to be the same anymore. And I know a lot of people are experiencing with the Xbox Series X, but I'm not much of an Xbox guy. But they're still in the same boat when it comes to sales. God, these freaking allergies. So that's basically where I'm standing at here and contemplating it. Let me guys know what you guys think in the comments section below. Like, what's your plan on that? What would you recommend, if anything, to get a PS5, or if it's even worth it at this point, even when it's available? So it's always great to hear feedback, if any, and hopefully get any ideas. All right, that's all.